This is a lesson on how to play Hot Cross Buns. This is one of the most well-known beginner songs ever. It's a great song to learn because you only need to know 3 notes. Here are the 3 notes that you need to know to play this song. Whenever we learn something new, it's a great idea to break it down into smaller parts and practice them one at a time at a slower tempo. Hot Cross Buns is 8 measures long, so we're going to break it down into smaller parts of 2 measures each, 4 phrases of 2 measures each. Let's take a look at phrase 1, which is the first 2 measures. We can see in measure 1 we have 2 half notes, and then in measure 2 we have a whole note. Now a half note means we play the sound for 2 counts or 2 foot taps. So 2 half notes would sound like this. Ta, ta. And then a whole note means to play the sound for 4 counts or 4 foot taps. So a whole note sounds like this. Ta. Let's check out phrase 1. Remember, you can pause this lesson anytime to practice these individual phrases. Now let's look at phrase 2. You might notice that phrase 2 is exactly the same as phrase 1. It's 2 half notes and a whole note, and we're playing the same notes that we played in phrase 1. So let's practice phrase 2. Let's look at phrase 3, the next 2 measures. We can see we have 4 quarter notes in the first measure and then another 4 quarter notes in the next measure. A quarter note is when we play a note 1 per beat or per foot tap. So 4 quarter notes would sound like this. Ta, 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 ta. Now when you're playing your quarter notes, it's very important that you use a steady stream of air to connect your notes together. It's like you're playing the air for a whole note, but the ta of your tongue separates the note into quarter notes. What we don't want to do is huff and puff on each quarter note like this. We want to connect our air like we're playing a whole note and use the ta of our tongue to separate the note into quarter notes like this. So now let's practice phrase 3. Now, here we are at our 4th and final phrase of the song, the last 2 measures. And we take a look at it and we can see it's actually the same thing we played in phrase 1 and phrase 2. So we already know how to play this. We have our 2 half notes and our whole note. So let's practice phrase 4. Okay, so now we've practiced our song in our 4 individual phrases. We're going to try to put it all together and play the full song from beginning to end. We're going to hear a metronome click to get us started. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we play. Okay, so let's get ready. You want to sit or stand with proper posture, feet flat on the floor. Hold your instrument with proper holding position. Make sure you're setting your proper band face. Get your fingers ready to play your notes. Take a nice deep breath before you play. Let's give it a try. If you're just learning how to play this song, you're probably going to have to go back and practice the phrases that we learned earlier in this lesson. It's totally fine if you can't play the song all the way through from beginning to end. Just keep practicing and you will get better. If your instrument doesn't seem to be working correctly, maybe your notes don't sound quite right, or maybe no sound is coming out at all, we have a checklist here of things for you to review to make sure you're doing all the right things to get a good sound on your instrument. This should help your notes sound better. And if you're still having trouble, remember you can always ask a music teacher for help. Okay, everybody, that's our lesson on hot cross buns. Thanks for watching. Now go practice.